there, welcome back to my world of stuff. I'm doing a video tonight. I wasn't sure whether I was going to do this video or not. I know I did say a few weeks ago when I announced the temporary retirement of this channel, and I appreciate that there have been some videos since I did my big dramatic I'm out of here sort of thing, but I did say I was going to carry on doing videos, just not quite as regular as I'd done them before. And this particular video is the sort of video I didn't think I would do again, but I'm doing it now because I quite like doing them, and I think people seem to quite like them, so I thought I'll do one because I've got some stuff to show you, and also because I haven't actually bought very much lately. For no particular reason, I haven't been out that much looking for stuff. Plus, I think a little bit of belt tightening. We're all watching the pennies a bit, I think. But I've just picked up a few bits and pieces the last few days, so I thought, well, I'll do a very short video just to show you some of the stuff I've bought lately. I can't say that these are going to be regular as they have been in the past. I can't say they're going to be weekly, fortnightly. But maybe when there's a bit of a build-up of things, a bit of a backlog, I will just put up one of these little videos for you. So anyway, without further ado, it is very much just a handful of things. I popped out today to CEX, my local CEX, and I had a voucher burning a hole in my wallet. Had a couple of other things to get rid of. I had a voucher for about 12 quid probably. So I had a look around the shelves. My local CEX is in Merthyr. It's also the CEX that Movies with James uses quite a bit. Sometimes it can be quite amusing if we're both in it at the same time, fighting over the same discs. They don't have a massive selection, it's just sort of one wall. They have very few 4K discs, so I haven't really picked up very much from there over the years, but I did pick one up today. I was quite surprised to get this one for just £2.50. Now, I'm not the world's biggest fan of these films. I've seen them both and I quite enjoyed them. And I have a sort of a slightly arm's length relationship with modern animation anyway. But I picked up for just £2.50 on 4K The Incredibles 2. Directed, of course, by Brad Bird. And this came out... It was quite a belated sequel, wasn't it? 2018 it came out. On 4K for £2.50. I thought it might be a mistake, a labelling error. But I looked online on their website. I know it is £2.50 for some reason. Not entirely sure why. It's just the one disc, the 4K disc, which, as you can see, is in pretty good condition. So yeah, pretty pleased to get that. A 4K at that price, whatever it is, you've got to sort of go for, really. Question is, of course, it's got the infamous dreaded labels, which a lot of YouTube Blu-ray collectors have been complaining about for quite a while. And I know that CEX are changing the labels. I don't know whether they changed them in my particular area yet. So the one at the bottom, the price one, they usually come off without too much trouble. And indeed, that's just slid off. That these are the ones, the little rebuy, recycling. I don't know why they put these on there, because we know what CEX does. But they put these labels on, and I'm going to see if this one... Oh, there they are. That was painless. Yeah, so it looks as if they are now finally in all their shops, all their stores, getting rid of those pesky labels. The ones that would sort of come off, leave a bit of residue. You'd have to... I mean, you can get them off. I've found in the past by holding the cover over a steaming kettle. It tends to loosen it, but you do always get a little bit of sticky residue, which is hard to get off. So yeah, that's come off very well. And I think, yeah, for £2.50, I'm pretty pleased to get that Incredibles on 4K. I also picked up 3 other titles from CEX. Let the Right One In. This is a superb, I think it's sort of Norwegian or Scandinavian vampire movie, which dates back to 2008. It was remade in America, Let Me In, which I haven't seen yet. I've got it, but never seen it. Let the Right One In is very good. It's got that sort of proper icy sort of Scandinavian noirish horror vibe to it. It's a really good film. Very pleased to have put this one up on Blu-ray for £2. Again, see the label at the bottom is... Oh, here we are. It's come off fairly well. There's a little bit left there, which hopefully will come off quite easily. But the one of concern, of course, is this top one. Is this going to come off? Yep, that's come off quite easily as well. So, yeah, it looks like CEX have done the right thing and got rid of the really pesky labels. There's a little bit at the bottom there, but that will come off. quite easily. In terms of the disc itself, yeah, again, it's just the Blu-ray disc. Yeah, again, that's in pretty good condition. It's got image from the cover. I know a lot of YouTube people talking about Blu-rays talk about artwork on discs when it's clearly photographs, and we've got photographs on the cover of this one, not artwork. There is a difference. Right, let's let the right one in, which was £2. I also picked up, this is a classic film which I've never seen. I think this is from the 60s. Yeah, 1968, directed by Roman Polanski, based on the book by Ira Levin and starring Mia Farrow. It's called Rosemary's Baby, sort of an early exorcist-y, possession-y sort of film, which I've never seen. I have been encouraged to see it in the past quite a lot, but I've just never got around to watching it. So this was a £5 in CX. It's a vanilla disc. There don't seem to be any special features, but that's I'm happy with that. That was a £5. Again, I'll see how we go with the labels. Yeah, that one's not coming off quite so easily at the bottom, which is something, but I think it will. Yeah, that's pretty much off. A little bit at the bottom to get off, but yeah, that's come off okay. And again, the label at the top. Yep, that's going to come off. I think it is. No, this is fantastic. I bet you're pleased I made this video so you can watch me tearing the labels off Blu-ray discs. It's fascinating. Yeah, that one's not coming off quite so easily, unfortunately. But it's obviously one of the older ones, so I'm going to have to do some work on that one. Slightly annoying. The last one I got is a fairly recent film, which I've never seen. Not the sort of film I would necessarily normally go for, but it was only £3. And I know it was very well received, very highly regarded. I think it won various awards. I don't know if it was an Oscar winner, but it was certainly a well-acclaimed film from 2018, Black Klansman, starring Adam Driver and John David Washington from Tenet, of course. So yeah, I'm quite looking forward to having a look at this. Again, sorry, looking at the disc. Again, nice clean disc with an image of John David Washington on the disc itself. Again, with the old labels. Let's see how we get on here. Yep, the one at the bottom has come off very easily. Oops, and we've got the one at the top, which is not coming off quite so easily. Oh, hang on, here we go. Yep, that's come off quite easily as well. So yeah, pretty pleased that that's come off without too much hassle. Right, so that's the pickups from CEX today. I also did a mooch in some local charity shops. Nothing of huge interest there, but I picked this up in one charity shop, 49p. I couldn't leave it there. It was sealed. It's a Region 1 American set, and it was never released in this particular form in the UK. I think there's a box set of all 4 seasons, but this is the strain of the 4th and final season. Now this is the, we have a visitor. This is the vampire series created by Guillermo del Toro and I think Chuck Hogan, based on their book series. I saw episodes of the first season and the second, never caught up with all of it, but I saw this was 49p in a local charity shop. Now, you might think, well, why have you bought this? I'm just going to leave it there. I think the art on the cover is very nice, very striking. If you've seen it, it's a very graphic and quite disturbing sort of vampire series. But yeah, for 49p, I wasn't going to leave that on the shelf. And finally, in terms of physical media, I'm looking back at my shelves the last couple of hours, seeing if there's anything else I bought recently. The only other thing I could think of that I bought in terms of physical media, I picked up X-Men 2 on 4K. I got this from one of the online sales, Zavi or something. It was maybe $10, $11.99. Probably the best of the original X-Men films. Of course, it's got a nice sort of 3D lenticular cover job, which looks very nice indeed. And if I just open it up, it's a nice set with the 4K disc and the Blu-ray. some nice interior illustration of Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, and the 2 discs with some nice photographic images on them. I said it's the best of the original X-Men films, and I've been meaning to re-watch the X-Men films for some time, but I just never really got around to doing it, so I must do that at some point. As far as other things are concerned recently, the only other stuff I could think of that I've had since I stopped doing these updates is this graphic novel, Thor, God of Thunder. Now, this is the story that certainly part of the upcoming film Love and Thunder is based on. It's the God Butcher character, Gore the God Butcher, who is played by Christian Bale in the film. You might have caught a glimpse of him in the most recent trailer that's been released. I picked this up from Amazon, about 12, 13 quid, I think it was. I thought, well, I'd like to know a little bit about this character, because clearly a lot of the comic book community know about him and know about this story. So I picked that up, and I've read a couple of issues from it. I think it's sort of a 6-issue story. Yeah, good story. Again, it's the problem with modern comics. I'm just not hugely keen on the art. I don't find it as compelling in terms of telling a story as the classic art I grew up with, but that's down to me being an old man, I guess. So that's Thor, God and Thunder, which I picked up. Came last week, I think it was. Charity shop purchase today. I picked up this. It's a Rubik's Cube. I've never had one of these. Of course, these were all the rage back in the 80s. The puzzle, the colour square puzzle. This was 50p, and I thought, well, I've never had this. It might be quite this nice little stress reliever, because certain stresses in life at the moment. I just think this is something I will have and just sort of fiddle around with now and again, or I might forget about it and put it in a drawer, which probably seems most likely. That's pretty much it. One more thing, in terms of music, I picked up this from Amazon last week. This is The Things We Do for Love. This is a double album of the very best of my favourite band of all time, 10cc. When I sort of discovered pop music back in the 70s, or took a proper interest in collecting music, 10cc were my Beatles. The sort of clever, intelligent, witty songs that they did, the clever lyrics, the clever musical ability that they had, the way they crafted their stuff. And I was actually very upset when they split up in 1976, when Lol Crane and Kevin Godley left the original 4-piece lineup. They were never quite the same after that. But this is a collection of most of their best, well, all of their best known hits. They had about 11, 12 hits, I think, in total. They're all on this double CD with tracks that they recorded under various names. Before they were 10cc, they were Hot Legs. They had a hit called Neanderthal Man. Godley and Cream had a few hits themselves. Graham Gulman, who's the one remaining member of the original band, he wrote a lot of hits in the 60s for people like Herman's Hermits and the Yardbirds, and there are versions of those songs on here that Graham Gulman occasionally tours under the name of Heart Full of Soul, and there's tracks from that combo on here, as well as some tracks that he did a few years ago with Kevin Godley from 10cc. They formed a collective which I think was called GM2 2020 something. I can't remember the exact name, but they worked together and recorded some tracks, and I'd be interested to hear their Son of Man, Same Road, Johnny Hurts, Hooligan Crane, Barry Shue. So I'll be interested to hear what they sound like. Also on this 2-album collection is a track that was never released by the original group, Natural Wonder, which I think was put together for some sort of shampoo advert, I think. It's not great, but it's new original 10cc, and that always works for me. That's out now, The Things We Do for Love, the best of 10cc. Right, that's pretty much it. Those are, as far as I can recall, the only things I've bought in the last month, maybe. As I said, not getting quite so much stuff lately. But, so although I wasn't going to do these videos anymore, when there's a few things to show you, I probably will dig them out and display my wares for you, missus. Right, thank you for watching. Coming up next will be, of course, the review of Jurassic Park Dominion, which I'm hoping should be up on the weekend. Yeah, so thank you for watching. See you soon. Until I do, keep taking the stuff.